I think linguistics is very powerful, which is why a lot of progressives try to control language. And as such, I can only oblige. From now on, I'm going to call woke people that are infesting fandoms to be anti-fans. And I think it's a very powerful and very significant definition. If you guys can share this video around so more people can see it. I usually don't ask for that, but no, we really need to start calling them anti-fans. Because here's what's happening. You have the customer, and the customer is a person that just buys an IP, whether it is a movie or a video game, they watch it, and then they're done with it. But then you have the fan, and the fan is something above a customer. It's actually in the name, it's a fanatic. So the fanatic, he enjoys the IP. He learns more about the lore of the IP. He gets invested in the universe. He starts buying merchandise. He goes to other people and tells them, hey, here's a cool IP you should try. He creates communities around the IP. The fan is literally the person that is making the IP profitable by investing time in it, by buying the merchandise. And this is very important because I have seen, for example, the previous Thundercats incarnation was doing very well in ratings, but it didn't manage to sell toys. So because it lacked fans, it got canceled. And this is before the Thundercats Go, so I'm talking about the previous one, right? So what are the anti-fans? Well, the anti-fans are people who really don't care about the IP at all. In fact, they might not even be customers, but sometimes they are. But these people aren't interested in learning about the lore. They're not interested in buying the merchandise. They're not interested in creating vibrant and rich communities. No, what they're interested in is usually injecting some sort of woke politics into the IP. They use the IP as a vector, I suppose, and they think they're changing the world by, for example, ostracizing people from various IPs. I mean, these people would invest, let's say, Star Wars forums and Star Wars Reddits and Star Wars websites, and they would constantly just argue with the fans. Like, they would say nothing positive, but they would constantly argue with the fans. They would be very toxic, very insulting. Like, if you say that you don't like Rey, they would call you an incel, they would attack you. And what they did is they would drive away people from the actual fandom. And eventually IPs die because of these anti-fans. These people that literally do nothing but belittle and attack actual fans, actual consumers, actual people who buy toys. And you can point out that the anti-fans don't actually purchase merchandise, because if you look again like at Star Wars, you see that Rose Tico action figures, they don't sell. If the anti-fans were actually invested in purchasing stuff, like, this wouldn't be a problem. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. I would just realize that, hey, we should call it quits. I mean, the new consumer is in and we're not. But that's not the case. The fans are more numerous than the anti-fan. And the anti-fan is now, like, the type of person that managed to destroy Doctor Who. And it's kind of sad, because for a lot of people, Doctor Who actually means something. They grew up with this show. They have some emotional attachment to it. Maybe they bought merchandise. And to be honest, it's quite an accomplishment for British culture to create a show that is worldwide, got worldwide recognition. It's been going on for more than 13 years. It is a very difficult thing to accomplish, and yet they did. And now it was destroyed for no reason whatsoever. I mean, this show could have gone on for much longer, and then maintain the same ratings that it had. But no, apparently, because of some woke asshole, they made the decision to split the fandom into two by not only casting a woman as the Doctor for no reason whatsoever, but also by having, like, all sort of dog whistle, like wokeist dog whistles, and engaging into this division of the fan base that shouldn't happen, because now you just don't have, Doctor Who fans. Now you have feminist Doctor Who fans, and now you have progressive Doctor Who fans, and you have racist Doctor Who fans, and you have, like, misogynistic Doctor Who fans, and everyone is encouraged to excommunicate the misogynist and the racist from the fandom. Turns out that there were a lot of misogynists and racists in the fandom because the ratings are dropping. And you have even the Guardian of all places saying that a gender swap of the role brought attention initially and caused high ratings. I mean, yeah, I guess, like everyone wants to see the train wreck. That doesn't mean that the train wreck is a beautiful thing. But viewership has since settled as much as the same levels as under Whittaker's predecessor. And the decision to cast a woman as the Doctor has also meant that the franchise became a pawn to the culture wars, further souring relationship in the fandom and making the social media posts of the show creators and stars a toxic way through. Oh no, please. Please, not bully the billionaires. Please do not bully. No bully. No bully on social media the millionaires. No bully. Honestly, I'm not encouraging anyone to show disparaging comments to the show creators, but at this point, I really don't give a fuck. When you're a doctor and you have to tell people that their kid isn't going to make it, harassment on Twitter is like such a non-trivial take. It's just, get the fuck off Twitter, But anyway, right, so where was I? Because I was going on an interesting rant. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. It's 1 a.m. Yeah. So as I was mentioning, the problem wasn't that they casted the Doctor as a woman. The main problem is that they pushed for division among the fandom. So if you didn't like the new Doctor Who, it wasn't because you don't like the writing. No. It's because you're a misogynist. And then there was like the episode where they retconned the entire lore. And they're saying that the initial Doctor Who was a black woman. And the white woman, which was the timekeeper, finds this black girl and realizes that she can't die. So she runs like these vile experiments on her. And she reincarnates as another person of color and another person of color. And then you get to see people in the media, explain how this is about whiteness in reality. And it's a metaphor on how white people are using the suffering of people. Do I really want to watch this? I mean, is this like the type of fandom that I want to be a part of, where you have like this mean-spirited overgeneralization, disparaging comments to an entire race of people? And, it's also like how fucked up things are. I mean, so the Time Lords are like some of the most cruel and evil entities in the galaxy based on how they got their superpower, at which point you gotta wonder, like, did the Daleks did anything wrong, So yeah, I mean, it's obviously what's happening, and now you have the Guardian saying, oh yeah, just shut it down. Like, you fuckers, your publication was cheering about these changes where the entire fandom was saying it's a bad thing. Like, literally everyone in the fan was saying, like, no, don't do this. But no, the Guardian was cheering. And now they're like, oh yeah, fuck it. Like, we cannibalized this. We wore it as a husk. It was funny while it lasted. And now we just need to discard this toy. Because that's how they view the IP. And this is why when you go on a forum, you will see that the fans, they're usually irrational. Like, they will curse, they're toxic, they're bad people. And the anti-fans are usually the ones that are cool-headed. And it's very easy to explain because the fans are emotionally invested into the IP. Like, they genuinely love the IP and they want to see it successful. So when you put emotions into a product, you want to see it succeed. And the anti-fan, they don't give a shit about the product. So they're not emotional. Like, they're not invested. For them, the only thing they're emotionally invested is the political ideology. So that's my take. I don't know if this is salvageable. I mean, I saw this guy on Twitter. He was a huge Doctor Who fan. Like, he had his entire room decorated with Doctor Who paraphernalia and products. And even he was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm out. So when you see like that type of person that's so dedicated, like probably spent over 10,000 pounds on all this Doctor Who merchandise, and now he's like, yeah, fuck this shit. That kind of tells you a lot about what a successful job they did with fucking with this product. It's insane. It's ridiculous. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.